Good afternoon, class. Please stand up and Miss Abal, you may lead the prayer.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Do not bring us into test, but deliver us from evil. Amen. From the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
May I ask who are absent today?
None.
Yes, I'm glad that no one's absent. Before we proceed to our lesson, who can recall our last topic? Miss Abal?
The table napkin folding.
Good. Please remain standing and I have a question. In table napkin, we have different types. Give me at least 3.
Bishop's hat, the French, and then the sail.
Okay, very good. So you already know about the table napkin. So now may I present our objectives for our next lesson. The objectives are define what is banquet and catering food service. Next, explain the banquet and catering food service. Lastly, demonstrate accurate the banquet and catering food service. Before we proceed to our next lesson, I have a short activity that you must be answered. I give you 3 minutes to answer this short activity. You may now start. Okay, let's start. Check. Check. Please answer number 1, Miss Oval.
Basta. This is a popular banquet service chosen in events with a large numbers of attendees. It is a convenient way of choosing what an individual wants to choose. That will be the answer.
Yes, very good. Yes, buffet is the answer in number 1. Number 2, please read an answer, Mr. Daniel.
It is a popular term known across countries involving a gathering where people will meet around the room while eating and chatting. This is a special gathering of a varied number of people come together for a special occasion.
What's your answer? What is your answer?
Letter A, reception.
Okay, very good. So we already checked your work, and I'm glad that based on your own prior knowledge, you got the correct answer. And based on your short activity that I gave, Miss Obal, in your opinion, what is our next topic for today?
Banquet and catering food
Yes,
service.
exactly. Our topic for today is banquet and catering food service. Now let us define what is banquet and catering food service. Miss Obal, please read po.
Banquet and catering food service is a large public meal or feast with main courses and desserts. It is usually done for big events and occasions such as charitable events, ceremony and big celebrations, held in conference rooms, ballrooms, resorts, and big restaurants.
Okay, thank you. Catering can also classified in 2 ways. Number 1 is social. Denmark, please read. Okay.
Social caterings includes wedding, reunions, birthday parties, and charity events.
Okay. In social catering, familiar naman po, di ba kamo, na ang social catering is yung sa reception. Yan, okay. Basta ganun, alam niyo na. Second is, okay, Miss Albat,
Business catering. This kind of catering services includes events like occasion, conventions and meetings, civic meeting, corporate sales, or stockholder meeting, recognition, banquets, product launcher, educational training sessions, service around awards, banquets, and entertaining in hospitality suits.
Okay, thank you. And now, we come to different banquet setups. Number 1 is herbal. Mark, please read.
A kind of setup for dinner that will involve a speaker. The table arrangement or setup allows most guests to be comfortable while facing the speaker. The tables are facing at an angle towards the speaker table. The chairs are placed on both sides of the table.
Okay, thank you. Here are the example of herbal. Baging siya po siya, baging man sa classroom na yung asa center is yung sa teacher chair. And then yung 2 row by side is sa student or any people. Okay, number, please read the classic.
Sa classic banquet room setup, a kind of banquet setup that consists of long rows of rectangle banquet table with seats on both sides. This kind of placements will allow for the most seats in a row. Notice that an extra person is added at the joint of each table. A head table is placed at the front of the room for this setup.
Thank you. Ito naman yung example ni classic. Based on what you read, Miss Albal, this kind of setup commonly used in what event?
Fine dining.
Okay, you have idea. The next is U-shape. Mark, please read.
A kind of setup that works well for presentation where there will be an interaction between the guest and the speaker. The speaker host can walk up and down the hollow box inside you and interacting with audience. A video projector is usually placed at the front of the hollow part of you for this purpose.
Okay, thank you. Ito naman po yung example ni sa U-shape. Commonly, yan na yung U-shape style. Gagamit siya sa watching film or meeting. And next, we have is classroom style. This is about
Classroom style banquet setup. This style of setup is great for orientation or any other presentation when the guests will need to be writing or eating while observing. This setup, seminar tables are most suitable of receiving space with this setup.
Familiar naman kamo with the, sa word nga ni na classroom. Siyempre, nangagi po siya sa classroom. And sa teacher, ang dito sa pinaka-center, maging same siya sa Haribo.
Pero nakaan.
Parang rectangular rin sa kanya. And lastly, we have chatter. Wait. Mark.
The most spacing design. If the event is a speech or lecture, this is the recommended setup. This setup may administer for watching films or performance such as banquet films or live singing, provided banquet chairs are faced towards the head table in front of the room.
Okay. Yung Chatterman is, yagi mo siya sa chatter. Ito yung example niya sa chatter. Pag pumunta ka po sa yung sa mismong event sa chatter, yung gantong style is makikita niyo. Okay. Did I clearly explain the 5 different bundle setup?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Now, kung naunawaan niyo po, Miss Oba, resistant, and I ask you a question. What is the difference between banquet and catering food service?
Sa banquet, siya, example niyo yung sa fiesta, nag-offers ni beverages and main courses and desserts. Sa catering, offering services, yung like, pag nagluluto sa mga iba-ibang okasyon.
Okay, very good. Class, in banquet setup, we have five banquet style. In preparing or set up the banquet set up, ikan kitang niya consider pag ma-arrange kita ning sa setup. Syempre, first yung gamit, and then depende dun sa team na i-conduct nung kapag-cater dun sa event. Okay, class? And please take note, class, that the materials and equipment that be used in arranging or set up in banquet is complete. Para buko siyang maging rush o makulangan dun sa pag-set up ni banquet setup. Since we are already done discussing the 5 banquet setup, I give you an activity that in this activity you will do or demonstrate the 5 banquet setup that I discussed, and choose one, and then yun yung gagawin nyo. Are you done? Miss Opel, please explain or demonstrate on what banquet style that you choose. Miss Opel, please present your work and explain kung ano yung ginawa niyong setup.
The setup that we choose is the classroom style banquet setup. Since the other material is not available, classroom style is a convenient way to do.
Okay, very good, very good. Please arrange the chair and then let's proceed. Okay, Miss Abal, please stand. Here's your question. How can you connect our topic for today in your near future to help you in advance, and what are the possible things that may give you this topic on practice this setup?
I can use it in near future if I work on the restaurant. The possible things that can give me motivation is I can use my knowledge in knowing the different standard services.
Okay. Here's your question, Mr. Denmark. Why it is important to rely on the proper setup of banquet and catering food service?
It is important to rely on the proper setup of banquet and catering food service in the reason of it is the way that gives us guide on pattern to arrange the table and chairs in a desired table setup.
Okay, very good. I give you two part of activity. In part 1, here are the direction in part 1 of your activity. Identify each banquet setup style that is being described in the sentence below. Some letters are given as clue to lead you to the correct answer. Write your answer in a separate sheet of paper. I give you 3 minutes to answer this activity in part 1. May start. After that, part 1, last I give you a part 2 activity. Sige. Okay, ito yung part 2 ni last na activity na gagawin niyo. Here are the direction on part 2 of your activity. You are asked by your cousin to cater her debut party that will be held on a beach. She will invite relatives and friends for about 25 to 35 people. What kind of banquet table setup will you prepare that you think is best for your cousin's 18th birthday? Draw what kind of setup that you prepare and explain what is best suited for the celebration.
Nalito yung tatlong row.
Dito sa part 2, na-invite na ka mo ni inyong pinsan na makater sa 18th debut niya. Ikan siya ng relatives and friends na pick and buy to each 20 to 25 relatives or friends. In your idea, what best suited banquet service style na may offer nyo dun sa cousin nyo na ikin-18th debut na sa beach, igaganap. Okay. Pass your work po. So, bago magtapos kita sa discussion natin for today, I will give you an assignment. Here's your assignment. What are the special consideration in banquet and catering service? List at least 4 key points in 1/2 cross sheet of paper. Okay, napaglas. Picturean nyo na lang kung ano. Then, submit nyo in our next meeting. Okay na? Okay, class dismissed. God bless.